the Salt and Pepper Podcast. Welcome back to another Salt and Pepper Podcast, episode number 1. We have a special guest today, Carlos Ojeda.
What's going on? Happy to be here.
He is a gymnastics coach. He coached us. He's the first coach that we ever had and the only coach.
And the final coach.
The final coach.
And he is going to talk today about his successes as a gymnastics coach and him traveling the world. So, Carlos, to start off, you were in Oklahoma. Why are you late?
Why was I late? I unfortunately slept through my flight. I had a 5 o'clock flight that I was just not prepared to wake up for. Then I had to spend the rest of the day in Oklahoma, and that's why I'm late. I showed up. Yeah.
This man slept through 5 alarms.
5 alarms. Yeah, not my best work.
So-
My boss was quite upset with me.
How was that trip? Who did you hang out with and everything?
It was awesome. So I was coaching at the regional championships for optionals. I had one boy compete. His name is Braxton, and he was a level 8.
Better than us.
Yeah, he does well. He does good. He had a rocky competition, but eventually pulled through on floor and vault in particular. He did an awesome souk layout at the end of the meet, and that was what solidified his spot to the Western National Championships. It's the first major championship meet that Extreme Gymnastics is qualified for. So that's the gym that I'm currently stepping in and helping as their head coach for the season. And yeah, I mean,
Is that in San Antonio or San Marcos? Where are you now?
It's in Seguin, Texas. So, or I'm sorry, I'm in Seguin. The gym is in New Braunfels. So,
okay.
yeah, close to San Marcos.
Heck
Very
yeah.
close.
So
Yeah.
You ride the river, or you're gonna start riding the river.
That's right. I can't wait to float the river this summer. That's gonna be good.
Heck yes.
Do a men's team trip out of it.
Oh, let's go. I'll go.
Yeah, dude, let's do it.
Dude, let's do it.
So
I did some cliff jumping into there too.
yeah, add some cliff jumping, a little bit of everything. Speaking of traveling, though, where else did you go in the last 5 months or 6
Yeah,
months?
let's talk about
so
that trip.
I went to Europe at the end of October. So I was there for a total of 60 days. I started in Mexico to go visit my grandmother and also go and meet the Mexican national team coaches and to get trained with this guy who's one of the top all-arounders in Mexico. And I was there for about a week and a half. And then from there, I flew to London. And then I was in London and in different cities in England for about 3 weeks, training at just the top gyms in Europe. I mean, that's pretty much what why I went to every single country that I went to. So I went to England, I went to the Netherlands, then went to Austria, Czech Republic, Italy, Germany, Switzerland,
Holy
and
crap.
Spain. Yeah. So
Dang,
if you count, America and Mexico, that was a total of 10 countries in
You
60
were there
days.
traveling the world to different gymnastics gyms.
Yes, to different.
Experiencing them, or are you coaching them, or just
So it was kind of a combination of all three. I pretty much emailed all the countries that qualified to the Olympics from the World Championships. So the World Championships were in October. I was just blown away by all the gymnastics that happened. More in particular, the fact that the Netherlands, such a small country, qualified as a team to the Olympic Games. And I was like, how did these guys beat powerhouses like Korea, Brazil, who normally are guys who are leading that final.
right?
This is the first time the Netherlands had ever made it. So I was like, what's so special about the Dutch? Yeah, I was like, what are these guys doing that all of a sudden it's full throttle for them? So I emailed just as I looked over all the websites that were posted on the FIG website, so the International Gymnastics Federation has all the national governing bodies for every single country, and I just looked up their head coaches, their names, the athletes, just where they were, and I made this giant mega spreadsheet that had if they competed at Worlds, okay, where do they train? Who are their coaches? What are their coaches' emails? Is there a website that I can find the location of the gym?
Yeah.
And I try to consolidate all the guys that were there so I could hit as many of them as I could, from country to country to country. And eventually I just made this giant pathway that I thought would be the most efficient way to travel.
What did the
all the way
coaches
around.
think of you? when you emailed them and like, who's this guy? Like,
Pretty much, yeah. Like I just wrote the email saying, my name is Carlos. I'm a gymnast, coach, and judge from the United States, and I'm a huge fan of your gymnastics
they're
and how
like,
you
just
guys
come
did
on
at the
in,
World.
Come
do some
on, man.
And I asked him, I was like, I would like the opportunity to, come in and train with you guys. I'd love to shadow, you as coaches, like through your junior program and, during some of the senior sessions and just see like, what's so
going
unique
on? Why
about
are
your,
you guys good?
yeah, pretty much. That was like the
Yeah.
question. I was like, why are you guys so freaking good? Why is it that,
How do I become good?
yeah, how is it that 2/3 of the teams that qualified are from Europe? Like what's here,
Yeah.
And so that's pretty much the question I was asking every time I went, and I, just kind of snowballed. It kept going. I oh my God, it was the most legendary trip of my entire life.
So
So awesome.
did you?
We would need to do like 9 podcasts, to, like describe like every single thing, but I'll do as much as I can.
Did you go in thinking trying to figure out like the Olympic situation, or did you go in wanting to be a coach and like that decision? Which way?
A combination of both. So
Okay.
I did it so I could kind of see like what it takes to make it to the Olympics.
Yeah,
And so I want like, I've always had a general like pathway in my head of like how you do it in America.
absolutely.
But I wanted to know like the European processes. I wanted to know, what are these guys doing that we're not doing in America? Like why is it that Great Britain edges us out like, every other world championship? Like what are they doing? And dude, like at some of those gyms, they are preparing their athletes for war. Like to put it simply, like they are
Like
machines.
what you sent me in that text that one time.
Wait, which text?
You sent me a text and it listed out every single thing that I needed to do from where I was to become an Olympian.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I mean, that was a different like situation. I would say that as far as like, well, I don't know, mainly like what they had to do in the gym.
Okay.
I gave you like the outline of like, okay, these are the competitions you have to go to.
Uh-huh.
For them, it's also like they have like a certain process for that, and they do like an Olympic trials for every single country, and they do a European championship, so they compete with them throughout the continent.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to see like in their gyms like what their gymnastics culture is like. I wanted to know what they do for conditioning, how many routines do they do, what times do they come in and train. Man, like.
So
Trying to think
what
of
did
other
you
little
what did you
spec.
learn from like the gymnasts? Like what did they do differently? Is there anything
Without giving
Yeah,
without
yeah.
giving
Without
away
giving
too
any,
much
like-
information.
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
I know their
no
stuff is secret.
confidential
Of course,
stuff.
no. They were all very open with me. They let me ask whatever questions and whatever. I think it's more so like they requested that if I took a picture of like their like training plans or like their documents, like they requested, they're like, hey, we'll let you take the picture, just don't publish it, post it. or anything.
Yeah.
Like, that's for you as a coach, like
Right.
so that you can develop it on your own. You can work off of it and apply it to your athletes or to yourself. And so, I would say that I took like little things from every single gym. So like I'll say in England, at this one gym called South Essex Gymnastics Club, it's where this 3-time gold medalist trained. His name is Max Whitlock. And I asked, his coaches, I was like, so what's the secret to like good pommel horse? Like why was Max so good? How did he win, 2 Olympic gold medals, 3 medals on horse alone, and, a medal in the all around? And they told me just all these awesome stories of like, his development and how he made it to where he did, and like, what makes him tick and what makes him like do the things that he does. So like, for example, he trains 75% of his gymnastics like on horse with like legs apart, sloppy, just feeling the
okay.
motions.
Yeah.
So like his first turn is his routine, but like sloppy, like just going through it.
Got you.
And I asked, I was like, so what's the point of that? Like, wouldn't that create bad habits? And they're like, no, the opposite. He's building the muscle memory, to do it just over and over and over again. So to do a triple Russian in the middle, to do a triple Russian on one handle, to do a Busnari, to do, his travels, like he does it with loose legs, but upstairs he has it ready to go. So like,
Yeah.
he knows where to put it. He knows where to put his hands. He knows how to turn his body at the quarter turn positions. He knows how to lean and planche his way through, through the handstands, coming down from the handstands. I mean, that I thought was like awesome. I was
Yeah.
like, so this guy, like, he only stays tight when he puts his hand up to show his coach. I was like, that's like every gymnast's dream.
Yeah.
Because, like in America, like, I mean, I'm sure you guys remember whenever I'd tell you, like, stay tight,
Yeah.
put your toes,
Toes down.
stay toes down. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Like freaking out to make sure that you guys did every little thing tight. But like they let him do it,
Loose.
sloppy.
Yeah.
And like that was his like longevity maintenance for his gymnastics. Like that's why he's in his 30s
So good.
still performing at the highest level and competing for Great Britain. I mean, he's the most successful British gymnast, in the country.
But
Like, it's
hey,
awesome.
how tall is he though?
Yeah.
Because as the
I think
tallest
he's
man,
not you.
as the
like
tallest
he's like
gymnast alive.
He's like 5'6", I think.
Holy crap!
So he's a
can-
whole
Can
foot,
Joaquin look it up?
he's
foot shorter than you.
he's Joaquin's height.
Yeah, look up Max Whitlock height.
Look it up.
Because
Joaquin.
as the tallest gymnast alive, your situation's going to be a little bit different when
Yeah.
it comes to pommel
That
you
is
on the
also
horse,
true.
I guess
That is also
your
true.
legs are so long.
5'6" on the
5'6".
money. I'm his biggest fan, so that's how I know.
He's like, I know.
Let's go. Trust me.
I know this guy. Oh, man.
Carlos measured with his arm. He just kind of put his arm up.
Five arms.
About 5 arms. About 5.
It's like 3/4 of a Carlos fall.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So you said he 75% horse-ish. Right?
Yeah, like 75% of his stuff
Why-
on pommel
why
horse is done with
horse?
sloppy legs. Why on horse?
Yeah. Just like why sloppy horse? Like why does that help? Like
It just
doesn't do-
it helps him just go through the motions. That way, like if he does it super tight and falls off, like he'll never know what it's like to do the
does he
entire
only do
sequence.
horse, or does he do?
He's
like,
now more of a pommel horse specialist, but he does like he
all around, right?
did all around in 2016, and he won a bronze medal, which was like awesome. Like he was like kind of under the radar, and like last rotation, he just like solidified his spot. It was awesome. Or I guess he was like throughout the hunt. I'd have to watch the final.
Is he the one who's like friends with Niall Wilson and stuff?
Yeah. He was on the same team as Niall Wilson
okay,
and
I
a bunch
think
of
I have
other
heard of him.
British greats. Yeah, no, he's awesome. And but yeah, so like he trains like pommel horse sloppy, but like he does like tight turns. I'm just saying that all of his warm ups. I mean, you like if you watch him like warm up for a final or warm up for worlds, like he does his stuff like with legs apart, like straddled, like wide straddled,
that's
or like just
awesome.
like loose. But he doesn't hit the horse is the other thing. Like it's not like he's hitting the equipment. He's like gliding through like they had all these little intricacies
Freaking
behind
good.
it.
That's-
Yeah, no, it was awesome, and I learned a lot, and they taught me things like like I'm not necessarily like I'm super tall, so like it's hard for me to do like the same strength moves as let's say Asher Hong. He's
freaking
tiny. The guy
Asher,
can do
dude.
inverted crosses, can do planches. Like I can't really do a planche, but like he's got like the coach over at South Essex. He was telling me like you have to planche in your handstand dismount.
Oh
And I was
God.
like, dude, I can't do that. I was like, that's not.
Sorry, not gonna
I'm not-
happen.
I'm
That's
like
not-
8
See how
feet
tall I am?
Yeah, I was like, I don't think. He goes, no. You have to. I'm not saying like do the planche. Like you have to do the action of it, which he was saying like to leave like my leg out so I could lean
okay.
forward and,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
do the skill. And I was like, all right, like I've never been told that. That was the other thing that I'd noticed, like going to all of these different countries, like they were telling me things that I had never heard before. And I've been doing gymnastics for the better part of
You should have
15
pulled up a
years.
picture of like a giraffe on your phone doing gymnastics. You're like, this is me.
This is me, yeah.
I'm this tall. I'm not gonna plan.
Right, but so like I tried it, and I flew.
Did you?
Like I flew through the hands. It was, he fixed my dismounts.
Dang,
Holy
dude.
crap.
I was like, you're
Well,
a genius.
I mean,
You're a genius.
I've seen your dismounts lately, and they've been really good. I mean, you had
Thank
you had the hand problem, but
Right.
I mean, ever since then, they've been spot on. Every
Thank you.
single
Yeah.
time.
They're
No,
getting
it's
better.
been-
We can tell.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate
Hey,
that.
has-
Yeah, no, the guys there literally fixed it.
Yeah.
And
Has one training thing? Didn't they? Don't a lot of like British people do straddle? Like they practice all their skills in straddle, or is that? Did I just watch that on YouTube and that's fake? Was that an Ian Gunther type TikTok?
that's a good question. I mean, from
Okay.
what I saw, like a lot, like it wasn't just Max that does it. Like everyone in that program, like will train or we'll do like a routine with like legs apart.
Okay.
They'll do like half sequences with like legs apart. And then like, when they go and salute in that, like they'll salute like 2 or 3 times, but they'll try to do it as perfectly as possible. Like the coach, like I loved that. Like he kept telling them like, it's okay. Like legs apart, like just get through it,
Yeah.
get through it, find a way. That was their phrase over
Yeah.
there was find a way. Like, it doesn't matter how you hit the routine. Just find a way to get it done. We'll refine it later. No,
That
it was
sounds
genius.
exactly like Carlos, honestly.
Yeah.
Just find a way.
Do it.
Just send it.
Just figure it out,
figure it
pledge.
out.
Don't be a moron.
Don't be a moron.
Exactly. Gosh. Well, Okay, so on the topic of success and you finding your journey, as a gymnast and a gymnastics coach, how is everyone in your family so freaking successful? I don't understand. Like,
I think it's genetic.
solid
I
answer.
think it's genetic.
I need an answer.
And-
Like a real one.
Not only that, but we have the smallest one. He's coming out.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be the best out of everyone.
Yeah,
huh?
freaking golden boy Derek.
Derek, yeah, the
He's gonna
golden
be the
child.
best.
No, yeah, Derek's awesome, man. He's killed
Yeah.
it in swimming.
He'll
He's
be the most successful.
I hope he is. I hope
he will
is.
be.
So he's the golden child because he's out of all four of us, he's the blonde one. So just
He's
like
the be-
physically,
he's the
he's
best
literally
looking
golden.
one.
He's the best looking one out of the four of us.
And
in
that's
my
pretty
opinion.
crazy. You're pretty sexy yourself.
I
Mark.
know, dude.
You should see my brother. Anyways, so he's a killer athlete. Okay, like he's great at football, great at everything. Like he can even do a backflip. So like he checked off my boxes. I was like,
Gymnastics,
Holy crap.
literally everything.
yeah. And he also streams.
Oh,
Yeah, and he
on
does-
like
Does he
Twitch,
stream?
on Twitch, and
yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
okay.
And so he's finding his route. He's gonna be a killer swimmer. He's like a torpedo in the water. So he's
So that's the
found his
route he
thing.
wants to do is swimming.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how far he'll take it, but like he could do really well.
Freaking the next Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps.
That's what I've
Yeah.
been trying to put that little.
I mean, in your
tidbit in
family,
his
I could
head.
see it for
Oh,
sure.
I could see it for sure.
yeah.
Freaking and Diego, he's doing like real estate
Real
now
estate.
or something.
Diego's doing real estate and killing it on social
Obvious
media and
Alex.
posting
And
reels and
Alex.
stuff. And then
Alex.
Alex is mentoring him in that. So Alex is doing his stuff with traveling and water parks and just thrill seeking adventures and
Going on all the cruises.
every cruise imaginable. Yeah.
Amazing.
What a life.
What a life.
So what's the secret? What's the secret
What's your
sauce?
secret? Do you have to be a white Mexican?
Yeah. What's
Queso Blanco.
Is that the secret?
Yeah.
Man, I would say like my brothers and I, like we don't quit. I feel like whatever obstacles like thrown, like we see a way around it or through it. It's not
round-offs with a broken hand, with
Yeah.
one hand.
correct. Yeah.
You
So
broke your
like,
hand.
Don't
you're like,
don't just sit on the
Screw
couch.
it.
Just keep
One-handed
going.
round-offs.
yeah. So I broke my hand and I was doing one-handed tumbling. I was doing front tumbling. I was running every day. I personally couldn't sit still. Like I was, in a cast swing on parallel bars, like only on my upper arms because
Yeah.
I can't support or push myself. I was doing just one arm hangs. I mean, like anything to just find a way to keep moving forward.
Just
And
don't quit.
I think that's something that all of my brothers and I all do. Like, Diego was making videos and just posting every day until, something stuck. Alex was the same way from the very beginning with TikTok and his socials and, doing it on YouTube. He was posting hundreds of shorts and just,
Yeah.
seeing
Men
what
are
stuck.
soldiers.
Yeah.
You have to kill them to stop them.
Right.
so
yeah.
tough.
And even then they'll find a way back up.
Yeah.
Sir.
Well,
Man.
I mean, like Mr. Beast said that in a video I just watched not too long ago. Like he posted hundreds and hundreds of videos and he just never quit. And look where he is.
Right.
And he said like
He's
his
still
first
going.
100 videos got like 3 views in total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he just kept going and his content got better. And I mean, shoot, everybody knows Mr. Beast.
I feel like
Right. That's right.
I'm glad you answered it like that because I feel like that's probably why you like gymnastics so much because it's like obstacles
Exactly.
you have to overcome.
Yeah, it's all mental. It's a physically demanding sport, but it's also just as, if not more, like mentally demanding. Like when you do hundreds of turns, then you go to a competition and just, if you flop, like for example, let's take my first meet after COVID at H&I. That was arguably the worst competition of my life, and before I put my hand up on parallel bars that day, that was I felt the most prepared I'd ever felt in my entire career because I was, at Cypress Academy with Tom Meadows and Igor Verny, 2 legendary coaches, and they, I tried my best to follow their training plan and do the conditioning that they were giving me, and I got to, had the experience to train with Asher Hong and Dallas Hale, senior national team members, world national team members, and they were tremendous to be around. And I had a fire lit in me, and I was like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to attack it. I had an awesome training partner named Colin Van Wicklen, and he, was very successful in gymnastics and was just always pushing me in the gym. And, I was like, I'm ready. Like, this is for all the guys who
That dude's
like believed in me, and pushed me. And then I just had the worst competition of my life, and I wanted to. I was this close to quitting. We were about to go in a vault, and I huddled all the guys, and I was like, all right, if I like fumble vault, like you guys need to find a new captain because like I'm so sorry. I was not mentally prepared for this competition because it was a lot of stress, being the captain, the coach, and the one all-arounder for the team. I was doing all 6 events. I was lifting guys onto high bar before it was my turn. I had to save Paul whenever he died on a Kovacs. Like it was.
Oh my God, that was a beautiful video too.
That is, yeah.
Oh
Amazing.
my gosh, Paul on the high bar. That was awesome.
Didn't he catch it with his armpit, or was
he
that his
thought
face?
it was his armpit, his face,
everything, and then he just flew off.
He
Right?
hung like a cat and then just peeled off. And I was like, "Why did you do the release?" And he was like, "I thought you said to send it." I was like, "That's not what I said."
That's what you tell us.
Yeah.
No, I only tell these morons that.
Right. But yeah, and so like that's where it was like mentally tricky. I was like, what did I do wrong? Why wasn't I, mentally prepared? And it was because like I didn't delegate anything to anybody that day.
Right.
Like I think I maybe told like Cameron, I was like, hey, can you make sure the guys are like warming up?
Yeah.
Like, I think that was like the one thing I like maybe asked him to do.
You were everything. Hey, you're basically the judge too. You kept going over the judge, making sure, hey, did you watch the same thing I did?
Right.
That was clearly a layout.
Right.
What the heck?
Yeah. Nice layout after every routine you did. Yeah. Yeah. And I had to be, the guy fighting for tenths, making sure that we got, credit for everything.
Make sure I got credit for my cross. It was beautiful.
That was
Corbin did get
that was an
credit
uphill
for
battle. I don't think.
I don't think I should have got credit.
Credit and like 100 off.
Corbin shouldn't get credit for any of his gymnastics.
Hey,
Joaquin.
the backflip I did off horse, though, you gave me an A, or you told him to give me an A, and
Did you?
I did.
You got an A for that?
Not for the gainer, for the backflip.
Oh, okay. Well, pull up the
backflip
gainer. Pull up the gainer on horse on TikTok.
Yeah, on TikTok.
The second video on Corbin's TikTok. Pull that up.
Do you remember this?
Take a look at
That move that red
because
mat?
I had told you I was like, if you can't make the press, just get off.
Just get off.
Sorry for interrupting this episode, but if you like the content you're watching, please hit the subscribe button down below and smack that thumbs up button. Also share with your friends and your family. Most importantly, follow us on Patreon for more exclusive behind-the-scene content. Thank you so much for watching, and now back to the
Just get off. Move the red mat. What's the judge's name? I really think
That was Andrew Parker. Oh my God. The mat slid out.
He still salutes. He's just like, good.
I really,
Dude, that guy was probably so offended.
I'm
because you
so
did that.
sorry, Mr. Parker. I don't know what I was thinking, but it was fun. It
You
hurt my
wanted
temper.
to do all 6.
I did, and I had no skill to get off.
Which brings
Right.
me to my next point. No one told me that if I did all 6, that we would have got a cookie cake.
Yeah.
What the heck?
I definitely mentioned
You did
it.
not. No, you did. I would
I
have done
definitely
it.
encouraged
Oh
you
my
both
God.
to do all 6 events.
I would have
so that
done
we
it.
could, yeah.
I would have.
We
Nobody
could have
told
a
me.
team score.
Also, no one told me that
Swinging on the high bar.
I swang on the high
And
bar
P-bars.
for like 20 minutes.
Our first-
No one told me it was a deduction.
Our first,
So
I definitely mentioned this to you. Did you do that at the meet this
Yeah.
past? That's what you
No,
did?
No. Our first
Our
3
first time.
meets until after home meet, we had no
We had no
idea
clue.
that you weren't allowed to swing on P-bars or high bar or rings or anything.
Yeah, so
It's like
here we are
deduction.
just swinging, just
No.
getting
You two were on a
deduction every
totally
time.
different planet then because I had definitely mentioned like, hey, get on, get off. 'Cause
Get on,
that's
get
my philosophy with you guys. It's
That's
making
true.
sure that we were
Well, see, you might have said get on, get off, but we thought you meant like swing a few times and then get the off.
jeez.
No one wants to stare at you guys. They want Joel up there, Carlos and stuff. We thought you meant like 1 or 2 tricks and then get off.
Okay, well, speaking on not knowing anything about gymnastics, I would
Yes.
love to ask you, so that way people in the world can finally know, because I look it up and I can't get any
The
information.
scoring.
How does score work?
How does it work?
I'm
I
kind
know
of
it's
getting
really
it now.
complex, but
Okay.
like,
But I want you to explain it for everybody to just be able to look it up and be like,
Yeah.
that's how it works.
in
Okay.
a salt and pepper.
in English, not
English.
Mexican.
Yeah.
Watch it. Okay, so I'll try to condense it as much as I can. Pretty much, you have a difficulty score
Okay.
and an execution score. So D score, E score.
He is going for his execution.
You combine those, and that's the full score. That's your final score. Okay. Your execution score starts at a maximum of 10.0. Okay. Your difficulty score is a combination of your 10 best skills, minimum 8. Okay, so that's 7 skills and a dismount. That's the bare minimum, at least on the elite side, what you need to get, a routine scored without, a short routine deduction. Okay. So those, let's just condense it to 8 skills. No, we'll just say 10. Okay, let's say you do 10 skills and they are all A value skills. Okay. So an A is worth 1/10, a B is worth 2/10, C is 3, D is 4, E is 5, and so on and so forth, all the way to I, which is 9/10. Okay. And you combine those, obviously, like on floor, there could be connection bonuses. So if you do a back 2.5 to a front layout, so that would be a D to a B, that would get connection. That gets 1/10 in connection.
Okay.
So if you did a D to a D, so let's say you did back 2.5 to a double front, that would get 2/10 connection. Okay. So that pass would be worth a full point. That point gets added to your score. In addition to those singular value skills, you have to fulfill certain requirements. Of those requirements, it's different on every event. Let's take floor, for example. So on floor, you have your non-acrobatic elements. So this is your endo that you like to do, the back pike to your stomach. This could be a scale. This could be a press to handstand, a circle, anything that doesn't require like actual tumbling or flipping. Okay, so that's non-acro. Then you have your front tumbling, back tumbling, and then your dismount. Okay, so that's 4 element groups. Each one is worth 5/10 each, so for a total of 2 points. Okay, so it's 2 points. And then let's say you do 10 A's, so that's 1.0. You would start at a 13. So that's 3.0 plus 10 for your execution, 13. And that's pretty much how the grading works on every event, with the exception of vault. On vault, all the vaults have a certain value. And so it just depends what you do. So let's say you do a souk laid out. So that would be a 13.2.
Okay.
If you add a twist, so every half twist adds 4/10 to your vault. So a full twist adds 8/10. So my vault, which was a laid out cause or a souk full with laid out, that would be a 14 because it's a souk layout. Full turn gets 8/10. So that's 14.
Got it.
Handspring double front, 15.2.
And then they would just deduct on.
Yeah, what's the deductions? Is
for
it like
vault,
steps?
So there's tons of deductions across all the events. So obviously,
taking a step when you
on your landings, yes, yeah. If you don't stick, let's say if you take a step a certain width, if it's super small, it's 1/10. You step a bit larger, it's 3/10. Same thing goes with hops; it goes to 1 to 3. If you fall, it's a point. If you have certain aesthetic errors that don't look right, so let's say you bend your legs like this much, it's a 10th. This much is 3/10. If you bend 90 degrees,
What's
it's 5/10.
the line to cross? So like, how does a judge tell? Oh, that's a small step versus that's a huge step. Like, I mean, what if it's like a middle step?
It's
How
about
do you
like
know?
a foot.
Okay.
A foot. Like if it's wider than
Do
a
they just
foot.
eyeball that, or do they?
They kind of have to eyeball it, or they do it in relation to the gymnast. They kind of have an eye for it, so they like know. And it also depends on how far the body moves
right.
to show like if that's gonna be a 1 or a 3. Like it can get pretty obvious. Like if it just looks like a larger step, it's gonna be 3.
Yeah.
If it's like a small little stutter, it'd be 1.
Well, I
you
know
know.
for sure that they judge someone like Asher way harder than they do us because my arms and legs are bent so much like a orangutan.
Right, you look like a spider.
And then Asher's perfect, and he
And then
gets
deduction. What?
I'm like,
Yeah.
From
what? Like I remember me and Tyler watched a Asher routine on rings, and he got deducted like a ton of points, and I was like, I didn't see one thing that was. He even stuck the landing just like perfect with his chest up and everything, and
I
I
didn't
was like,
see one mess up.
I could not point out one thing that he did wrong. I thought it was just picture perfect, but
Yeah, like at the different judges courses that they do, like they pretty much give you a rundown on what to deduct. So like if you're looking at rings, they deduct for short holds. If your hands aren't flat on the rings, like if you're curved and doing a false grip to hold yourself, it's a deduction. If you bend your arms, deduction. Short hold, deduction. If you're too high or too low, deduction. If you, let's say, fall the wrong way, deduction. Or if you have like an extra swing, deduction.
Lots
like
of deductions.
There's tons that just add up. If you put your feet on the straps, it's deduction and no value for the skill that you did. So just those little deviations are kind of what pick at scores for Asher, and like he knows what he needs to work on, and he's gotten tons of feedback as far as like, okay, like your body position here was a bit off. Maybe you need to be a little flatter. Maybe the inverted cross, you entered too high or you were too shaky. So like those little things add up a lot, so he could do one skill and, if he has bent arms, a false grip and a short hold, that's already like 5 off.
I'm
like,
curious.
It just adds up.
So the people judging Asher, do they have the experience that like you have? Like they're a gymnast and they're like super good also? Like do they?
Not everyone.
I know most of them probably know what they're talking about because they're judging, but like how good at gymnastics are they to be able to judge?
Yeah,
like,
what's
believe it or not,
their
that's
path to
doing
be a judge?
gymnastics beforehand isn't even a requirement
Really?
to be a gymnastics judge.
That's
if you
crazy.
if you were just a normal, regular, everyday Joe, you could sign up for the course. If you pass the test and your stuff,
That's insane.
you can be a certified judge in America.
That's
So-
crazy.
How do you become an Olympian judge though?
Like a judge for the Olympics.
Yeah. Like what you need
I'm
to be.
assuming because that's your pathway.
Yeah,
you
I
gotta
would
be
love to do
either a
that.
judge or a coach or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So to judge at the Olympics, you have to get what's called your FIG card, which is the International Gymnastics Federation. That's the highest ranking of judging. So there's certain categories for that, and you have to be like a category 1. Okay, and there's like 4 categories, and it's not that like if you get a category 4, you're a bad FIG judge. It's just that if it's your first time, and you take the test and you get a certain score, they'll probably start you at like a 3 or a 4. And then you kind of have to earn your experience and work your way up. You have to judge a bunch of international competitions for both, the junior and senior side. You have to judge, continental championships such as, European championships or Pan American Games, Pan American Championships, etc., Asian championships. And then from there, you can judge at a world championships. And then once you show that, you're effective at your job there, that's when they pick the Olympic judges. But they pick the Olympic judges, I think, at the start of every quadrennium cycle. So every time the code changes, which is at the end of every Olympic Games, they normally iron out, okay, these are our judges for the next 4 years. That way, they're going to be at every World Championships. And after Worlds, they're going to be, on the Olympic panel.
So they're already Asher and them and Cole, and they already know who the judges are. They've already been judged.
They probably don't know
maybe?
specifically, but I'm sure their coaches do.
Okay.
And their governing bodies definitely do. So like the guy who oversees all the operations for Team USA, he knows all the judges that are going to be there. He knows who to put the guys in front of, at certain U.S. championships. So like we get one guy to go to the Olympics, for every country that like qualifies the Olympics. Like they all get one guy representative, judge, and that guy gets to go. His name is Dan Bachman. He's I think on Pommel Horse this year, and so like Dan will be at all the U.S. championships, all the Winter Cup nationals, and he'll be evaluating these guys, and he has the opportunity to give feedback to these guys and say, hey, this is what we deducted.
Yeah.
Just this is what we saw. This is why you got the score that you got. Fix it.
Fix it. You need to fix that.
Do better.
Yeah.
I'm sure he says it nicer than that.
hey, so for on the topic of Olympics, how does the Olympic team get chosen for USA, and who do you think is going to be, if they aren't chosen already? I don't actually know, but if they aren't chosen already, who do you think
They
that
are
team's going to
chosen.
be?
Okay. I refuse to answer that question on the grounds that I don't want to. I'm just kidding. So the selection for the Olympic Games, first the guys have to be at U.S. championships.
Okay.
And they have to place in a certain allotment. Let's say it's the top 24 guys, because I think it's a very, it's a very elite pool of guys that they select to try to, represent our country. And so If they qualify to Olympic trials, they're put on the national team. So it's a group of 24 guys. And there might be 21. I don't know, around that number, 18. It's a very, finite number, only a certain group.
And Dallas made that, right?
Dallas made that group of guys
Shout out Dallas.
last year. Shout out Dallas Hale. Yeah, he had the performance of his life. He killed it. He killed it on floor, killed it on vault, parallel bars, and locked his spot. So I hope he earns it back again.
That man so hard.
Me too, man. I lost my mind whenever he made it. But yeah. So they take those top guys, then they go to Olympic trials. At Olympic trials, the top 2 all-arounders, assuming that their individual scores are within the top 3 placements on all the events. So let's say first place, or let's say second place has like top 3 finishes on different events. He then is locked on the Olympic team. Those 2 spots get locked. The other 3 spots go to other guys who kind of fill in the gaps for those 2 all-arounders. So let's say, one of our weaker events in the past has been high bar and vault. So I'm sure Team USA is probably looking for our best high bar and vault guys, and pommel horse. So for example, Coy Young coming back from the World Championships with a silver medal on pommel horse and a silver medal on vault.
His vault
he probably has a great shot at making the Olympic team.
Yeah.
Same with Fred Richard, who got 3rd all around at the World Championships.
Mhm.
And he's one of the best high bar guys in the world.
And he makes some funny videos.
And he has some great content. I like his stuff. But so those are 2 guys who are definitely, I would say, are front runners for making it.
Yeah.
Obviously, one of the other kind of terms of basis that they decide the Olympic team on is, how do they represent our country in the past? I'm sure they're open to putting a brand new guy who hasn't competed internationally.
Okay.
But at the same time, they do want someone who knows the ropes, who knows, okay, what a World Championships feels like, what it's like to compete internationally, what it's like to, adjust to jet lag, what it's like to handle the pressure. I feel like that's the biggest thing. If they can handle pressure, that's who we want representing our country.
Yeah.
Who can hit when it counts.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And so
hopefully Asher can catch his Coleman on high bar.
I pray he does, and not with his wrist.
Not with his wrist.
Yeah, that was freaking awesome.
Yeah. Because he got murdered for that at the last World
That was
2
so
World
sick,
Championships
though.
ago.
I don't
Yeah, it
know
was
how
awesome.
he did it.
I've seen him do that too many times, in the
Really?
gym. Yeah,
He's done it multiple times.
multiple times.
Wow.
See,
So sometimes he just reaches a little too far, puts the Coleman just a little too on top. And
coming from the motocross industry side of things, they would add points if you did something crazy like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They'd be like, holy crap.
They'd be like, "Oh my God, he
More
landed with his hands like this on the bars."
No-handed lander.
Add 3 points to that.
3 points for that crap.
So that's one thing I wish they would do for gymnastics is if you did something like a giant on your wrist,
Whoa.
give the man some points.
But yeah,
You can deduct them somewhere
they're
else.
supposed to be
but God.
perfect, and it's the Olympics, so it makes sense.
It does
they have
make
to be
sense,
as
but
precise as possible.
but
yeah.
it would be awesome.
Yeah. So to follow up on the question of who I think is going to represent Team USA, man, I think this year, this quad in particular, America has such a great level of depth.
Yeah.
You can put anyone
So
Yeah.
many.
on this team, within reason.
yeah.
You can put anyone on this team, and Team USA will do.
And you're friends with almost all of them, so I don't want you to piss
a good
anyone
majority.
off.
No, and they're fine.
Don't
They're
piss
fine.
anyone
They're
off
fine.
right now, but
There's guys that I'm rooting for, and then there's
Yeah.
guys that I think just objectively they deserve to be on the team. There's it can't. It's the toughest job in the world to pick those 5 guys.
Yeah.
You got to look at the data. You got to look at who's been consistent, who's going to hit, who's going to do the best job. And so there's guys like Curran Phillips, who won Pan American Games on parallel bars,
Yeah.
by a huge margin. Then under him you have Colt Walker, who's also a beast on parallel bars. Yeah, and then you have past Olympians who are also trying to retain their Olympic spots, their world team spots, like Shane Wiskus, Brody Malone, Yul Moldauer. Yeah,
how's Brody doing?
Yeah.
Is he doing better?
He's doing well. He's
Okay.
doing really good. He's tumbling now.
Woohoo! Back, baby.
It's crazy how much progress he's made.
Yeah.
He looks awesome on pommel horse. He's I think the strongest he's ever been on still rings. He's adding a bunch of strength. I'm sure he's doing high bar releases safely over a pit,
Yeah.
and still locking in on that. Like, that guy was world
I
champion.
miss
So
his 3 releases in a row. Or
yeah, no, he was
those
on
are
the money with that.
Those are so crazy.
Right.
I don't know how you catch it, come down, tap, and just do it again.
Right.
Like,
No,
I can't do a
and to
giant.
do
so
it
I
so
mean-
many times, and to do it that
I'm
many
really
times
good
is
at high bar,
ridiculous.
Yeah. Cayman's got high bar down.
Yeah.
That's right.
You
That's
should
right.
be teaching Brody how to do a double.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Brody
he'd love
Malone,
that.
if you ever watch this, look at my double.
Watch
Take a
Cayman's
look at that.
double. Hey,
Joaquin, you wanna pull that one up?
Pull up
Yeah.
Cayman's
Pull
Pull
that
that
one up
clip.
again. The high
Cayman's
bar.
high bar double.
His high bar dismount.
Slams his head. Yeah. So we can show Brody how to
Yeah,
actually double
the
off
real way
off
to
the
double.
high bar.
If you want staples in your head.
Oh, dude, that was
I just
the completely
fall down.
wrong way to do that skill.
Dude, I just fall down like a broken bird, like a new baby bird just falling out of the
Like
tree.
you
Just
casted and just
terribly.
did the worst possible thing.
worst
I
way.
told you, hold your toes
Toes
down.
down.
Have them behind
The
you.
worst thing I could have done is that.
That
right there.
literally, that was the worst thing that could have happened. I don't know why
God.
no one was there sliding the mat.
I don't
The
know.
bar pad. Someone
needed
should have
to
been
bar
there.
pad me, but
That was so reckless.
Hey, ever since then though, I always made sure that if I wasn't bar padding, which I'm not the best bar padder, that somebody was bar padding.
yeah,
was-
someone at all times. It's a,
what was it? The rule of Cayman or what?
Yeah, the roller
Cayman
Cayman
rule?
clause.
The Cayman
the
clause.
Cayman
Yes.
clause.
They made a Cayman clause after me. Always bar pad.
Always
Yeah,
bar
is that
pad
in
no matter
A&M
what.
gymnastics bylaws?
Yeah, it's up there posted on the clipboard.
Right by that
Wow.
old guy on the picture.
That's great. That's
Dude.
great.
Who is that guy, by the way? Does anyone know?
That is what's his name?
Is he like one of the first gymnasts to open the
He-
gymnastics?
He did a lot for A&M gymnastics.
Okay.
I'm so upset with myself that I'm blanking on his name.
He's an ancient Chinese monk.
He's not. I'm gonna pull it up. I know his name. I don't know why I'm blanking right now. Probably because of the flight that I was just on. Let me see.
Yeah.
But
Freaking Carlos just flew, what, an hour or so, and then got off the
Oklahoma.
plane. First missed his plane, then flew an
Flew
hour
on another
or so,
plane,
then,
came straight here,
oh my gosh.
straight to the pod.
How you're even awake.
Oh,
Thank
it
God
was
for that
okay. I
record.
didn't even have to look up the picture. I remember Ernie Kirkham.
Ernie, that's
Yes,
right. Ernie.
Ernie.
That sounds
Mr.
familiar.
Ernie.
Mr.
So Ernie did a lot for A&M gymnastics. He was a coach for the team for many years. He was just awesome. I mean, he was also a gymnastics judge, and he judged me growing up. A lot of my high school competitions, he came down to Round Rock and judged me. He was just a great guy to always chat with and talk to, and he passed away while I was webmaster. So that had to have been in 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to like meet with him and stuff? Or
Yeah. I got to see him a couple times. Not in the last like year before he passed, but
So he's a legend for sure.
he's a legend for sure, and that's why we have that.
Yeah.
We have that picture in the gym.
Hmm.
Pay homage to.
Hey, speaking about that though, how did you get into gymnastics? Tell us like
Yeah.
the little beginning.
now,
story.
time for the background of
Yeah.
Carlos
and,
Ojeda.
and like
What-
because I just saw some of your Round Rock High School clips on YouTube, and I thought those were funny with G,
Yeah.
with G and Zach and stuff.
Yes,
those were
yes.
hilarious.
Yeah. So I don't remember the exact like reason why I started. I do remember. So like my earliest memory of gymnastics was I remember I did it when I was 7. Then there was one day where like I didn't really like it. I just kind of did it to do a sport. And I remember it was my birthday. And I told my mom, I don't want to go to practice today. It's my birthday. She was like, okay, that's fine. And I just never went back again.
Yep.
And then I remember I was watching the 2008 Olympics, and I was watching the team final where the men were competing and they won a bronze medal. And I saw Jonathan Horton, Raj Bhavsar, Joey Haggerty, Justin Spring, the entire Olympic team,
Yeah.
Kevin Tan, the guys who won it, Sasha Artemov. And they, I just thought it was the coolest thing. One, they were all crazy jacked.
Yeah.
Two, they were doing the coolest flips and sticks. They were getting loud and hype. And I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the gymnastics I want to do, not this, cartwheel, handstand, whatever.
Yeah.
And then from there on out, I mean, I asked my mom, I was like, I want to go back. I want to do gymnastics. And then I told myself I wouldn't leave until
What age were you then?
I did it.
Like,
I
when you wanted
was
to go back?
9.
Nice. So
yeah.
did you
Just
start
2 years off.
Did
So
you
it was about a
start
year to
later
2 years
than,
off, yeah.
than most people start?
Yeah. I
Okay.
feel like a lot of the guys who are, super, who like make it to that
Top
high
of the
level,
top.
or like they're normally thrown in with mommy and me classes whenever
Yeah.
they're like 2 to 3 years old, and they
Yeah.
probably start competing when they're, between the ages of like 6, 7, like that early, like they're just doing like, a little pre-team stuff. And then, eventually develops them, competing as 9-year-olds, when they're 10, 11, 12, they start doing some bigger stuff, 13, 14. And then in high schools when they start doing the real,
The big stuff.
development stuff. Yeah.
Some of those kids coming up are crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
Asher, and then there's
Gage
Gage
Kyle.
Kyle. is
Gage
freaking
Kyle's a beast. Yeah.
beast. Triple on floor.
Mhm. Yeah. Triple backflip on
He
floor, and he's
sticks that
16.
He
Dude.
triples like it's nothing. And
Yeah.
it's unbelievable.
He can triple pike too. Like there's
crazy.
crazy videos. of
Isn't
him
that
just-
like the hardest thing you can do? Like,
that's
what's
the
biggest
hardest
thing
skill on floor. That's the hardest skill of back
Really?
triple
Is
pike.
that an eye? Or is
Yes, it's an
Yeah.
eye.
that- Jesus.
Yeah, a Nagordny. That's what it's
Oh
called.
my gosh.
But yeah, and then just that's pretty much my gymnastics background. I went to a gym called Acrotex,
Mhm.
and I was there
That's
for a number of years.
That's
and
where
then-
if you watch the first episode or
Zero.
zero
Yeah.
episode, that's where I
That's where
exploded.
Corbin
Zero.
crapped on the floor.
Yeah.
So if there was a brown stain, I'm so sorry.
I gotta
mean,
ask Robert about that. 'Cause, I think that was the coach that you said was there, right?
Yeah.
Possibly.
I mean, possibly,
I'll
yeah.
check with him and see if he remembers.
we have footage of you there with him there. So it was around that time
Robert was my coach for a little bit when I did gymnastics when I was like
for
5.
like the 6
Oh,
months
yeah.
that we were there.
Yeah, for like
After
the little time
before
we
I
were there.
exploded.
Before Corbin crapped his pants, Robert
Yeah.
was the one teaching me.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But yeah, so I was at Acrotex for a number of years, and then in high school, there was a program at my high school, and there was an opportunity to do varsity gymnastics, and I wanted to do a varsity sport in high school, and I was like, what better sport to do?
Yeah.
Why would I jump in and do football if I already put in this much work in for gymnastics? So
absolutely.
Right.
I was training with the team there, and I loved every second of high school gymnastics. And then after that, I went to I trained at Crenshaw's for a little bit my freshman year of college, and then once I got an A&M, I joined the team there. And then COVID hit. I came back home, and then I was coaching at Tumble Tech, and I then got an opportunity to go to Cypress Academy down in Houston, and I have idolized that gym and everything about them. I mean, that's where we produced 3 of our best Olympians for Team USA.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was a dream come true getting to train there. And I was there for 3 years, and I actually commuted my senior year. I spent half the time in Cyprus and half the time being the captain of the A&M team, and that was worth every second of the drive, every single time. I got to train with some of the best guys in America,
Dallas.
and I got to bring what I learned at Cyprus
Mhm.
to you guys, and
Yeah.
I felt like I changed a lot of things at A&M that are like still sticking. So like, leg power program,
Yeah.
that is,
Yeah.
an annual thing. I love that, you guys are still keeping that going and
Yeah.
doing it.
My legs are
Makes-
still sore.
Yep, my legs are still jello.
Yeah. Good.
Can't walk.
Good.
That's for Betty
Garbage
for
is
that.
probably still throwing up. Yeah.
God.
Power.
God. Yeah. Leg power program, the hardest thing. He's making your calves huge. It's like Popeye calves. It's freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
And-
were we
Can jump to
actually,
the moon
were we
like Hulk.
actually, because I didn't realize you were still in high school when we went to Tumble
Yeah,
Tech
let's
for
talk
the
about
first
Tumble
time.
Tech for a little bit.
Tumble
Were we
Tech.
actually your first people that you started to coach and stuff?
So I had dabbled in some gymnastics coaching. Whenever I was 16, I was coaching at Acrotex in Round Rock, for I don't know, maybe a couple weeks, not even a month,
Yeah,
just to try it out and have fun with it.
because we just started calling you coach, but
Yeah.
I mean,
And then in high school, I would help out my, our coach had to be in charge of 2 teams. And so sometimes at practice, we had to be a bit more independent, but, some of the new guys didn't really know what to do. So me and some of the older guys had to kind of take charge and, help the newbies just learn how to do certain skills, just teach them how to flip and stuff. So
Yes.
I felt like I got a lot of practice doing that. And
full
then,
send.
yeah, just sending it. It was the best. And then Then when I graduated high school, I started working at Tumble Tech because it had just opened up in 2017. And I was just, picking up hours doing open gyms and, some classes here and there. I think I was doing like parkour classes at the time and some tumbling stuff. And, I met you guys at a open gym and, y'all would just keep coming back and we would just keep sending some crazy stuff that you guys had no business throwing.
No. So we didn't like gymnastics. You got us into gymnastics. I
didn't know what gymnastics really was.
We didn't want to do gymnastics at all. What we wanted to do is learn how to flip.
Right.
We were there for the trampoline.
Because we wanted to jump off a cliff and
we wanted to cliff jump and I wanted to do backflips on my
bikes.
So that was the goal for us. We were never looking at gymnastics at all.
That's
In
awesome.
fact, Joaquin, can you bring up the first time I did a double backflip with Carlos at Tumble Tech?
So I really don't know if you know this, Carlos,
double front
but the first time I met you was the first time I ever went backwards in my life.
He had never done a backflip.
I had never done a backflip.
We'll watch
in my
that
life.
too. Let's watch both of them. Actually, bring up Corbin's first backflip.
And after I finally did a backflip on the trampoline, the very same day you said, just send a double. It's just a foam pit. And so that same day I did a double backflip into the
Is this your
foam
first
pit.
backflip?
This is he doesn't even land it. This is his first
He
attempt.
doesn't even land it.
Was that my first attempt?
Yeah, look. Take a look. Corbin's
You're on the
first-
left. Okay. Okay. Survivable.
So that was after you taught him. He went up there and tried to do a backflip for the first time. The very next second after that, he did a double backflip into the foam pit.
Into the foam pit, because you said if you can do one, you can do two into the foam.
Yeah.
Dude, you look
can
so
do
small
one, you
in
can
that
do
video.
two. Okay, now bring up the double front flip, because I didn't know anything either. So it was the first time we did singles, and then you're like, you can do one, go do two.
Yeah.
So then we're like, we didn't know that we had no experience. We just listened to you, So you trained us and almost killed us at the same time. It was awesome.
Hey, is that me in the back?
Yeah,
there we
that's
go.
you right there. Freaking Carlos. Yeah, he's just
That's the
staring
very
at him.
first
I hope
time.
this kid doesn't die.
Yeah, you
Dude,
had
you
it,
jumped
dude.
so far back on the trampoline.
I know. And I never got any better after that day.
Yeah.
That was a double front flip half, I think.
Double front half out.
Still, best trick. Can't do anything better. That was the first day I did gymnastics. Can't do anything better than that.
I felt like that day that we trained during winter, you did like a front, like double front with a full twist.
Yeah.
Okay, a little
You
bit better,
got some
but
more stuff. You got some
half
more
a
stuff in the
twist.
back.
I got half a twist in like 10 years.
Some more.
But yeah, that was the tuck and pray mentality.
Tuck and
Yeah,
pray.
tuck
And
and pray.
it seemed to have paid off for you guys
Yeah.
Yeah.
to an extent.
Triple
You
on
did
pie bar.
and then you did triple backflip up, triple gainer.
Triple
Remember
gainer,
we?
yeah.
Oh yeah, triple
I
game.
convinced you to send that.
Yeah.
Master persuader.
Jeez, yeah, that's really what you are. Screw coach. He's just a persuader.
Yeah.
That's like
Just
communication.
gaslighting you into thinking that you got it.
Communications major right here. That's
Right.
persuading.
Paying off.
That's why I
Yeah.
never need caffeine. I just call Carlos and
Yeah.
say, "Hey,
Right.
come on to Tumble Tech and just tell me to do
Tell me
stuff."
to
Tell
do
me to
stupid
do
That's
this.
my
crap.
caffeine.
Yeah. All he does, he's the best person to get you to send something.
Yeah.
If you need to send something crazy and get your adrenaline going, call this guy.
I'll get you to run through a brick
Call
wall at
this
full
guy.
speed.
I know. I've been there. I've hit that brick wall. God. Yeah.
Cayman, stop doing stupid crap.
Yeah. Do you remember that?
Then he wouldn't be
statement?
Yeah.
doing anything.
We were at the gymnastics gym.
When you were doing backflips in the foam on the mat, he
Yeah.
was backflipping on the mat in the
I was
foam.
acting like, so we put the mat in the foam pit, and I was acting like it was a trampoline, and I was trying to do
God, I remember that.
backflips and backflip halves on the mat, just as
Bouncing,
a trampoline,
yeah.
just bouncing. And
Yeah.
you're like, stop doing stupid stuff. And then Corbin
I
was
said,
like, then he wouldn't be doing anything.
That was the perfect response.
and
The
you
perfect
looked
response to
at
that.
us like, "I'm gonna kill you."
No, he just looked at us and he was just like, I hate you.
I hate you.
It was awesome. But
But yeah, I mean, well, yeah, of course I'm going to yell at you to do that. Be productive. We could be doing, from the mini tramp going into the pit. We could have been doing, there's another way.
Crazier stuff, And what else did we get in the gymnastics gym? I did my first
like off of parallel bars, backflips.
Yeah, backflips and front flips. I almost died, but I
Yeah.
got it. And what else?
I sent a lot.
Everything.
Of stuff.
Honestly, when we walked into the gymnastics gym at A&M, we didn't know what anything was
I had never seen a pommel in my life.
ever.
Yeah, until that day.
I mean,
No.
I guess maybe when I was 2 or 3 when
Yeah,
I crept
when
on
we-
the floor, but that was
Yeah.
I don't remember
It
any
went
of
from
that really.
seeing it at Acrotex and then gymnastics A&M. Like,
Yeah, I'm sorry, but
That was
respectfully, you two just had. There was no.
There was
chance.
no
I was going to be able to
business
teach you guys
being in the
anything
gym.
on. Well, not even in the gym. I'm just saying, like on pommel horse, there was nothing
Oh,
I
No,
No.
I mean,
I could have
hey,
taught you
we
guys.
learned- I
It
think
would have
we
taken way
almost
too
learned a
long.
circle.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
take like a circle's impossible.
Yeah.
Like it's harder than like a
I can
kip.
do
It's harder
one
than a
on
double
the
backflip.
mushroom now, and that's it.
You what?
I can do one on the mushroom, pretty consistent.
Good.
But
Let's get into like 5.
yeah,
So we can do something.
after you do 5, I've heard you can just hop onto the
Right.
actual
Yeah.
pommel and
It's
do
an
it.
exponential progress chart.
Yeah, I got to get there at some point.
Keep practice. Just
I'm
try 100 a
I'm
day.
too broken up. I don't know how y'all stay not broken up. My wrists and ankles hurt so much after like 2 days of gymnastics.
Yeah. Physical therapy is the 7th event.
Yeah.
in men's gymnastics.
The seventh
Physical
event.
therapy
You
and
know-
conditioning is the
You know how
7th
that
event.
goes.
Yeah.
That's why I made you guys do like power program. That's why I made you guys,
Honestly,
Yeah. Thank
Wait,
God.
so a good question to ask Carlos is,
Yeah.
what, besides gymnastics, what do you have the most appreciation for? What sport do you have the most appreciation for? Like the
That's a
gnarliest
good
thing.
question. So, oh man, I mean, I have so many answers. I have so many answers.
Go
Like
for it.
Go for top 3.
one that I think would be like kind of unexpected is golf.
Really?
Like I have a lot
Really?
of respect for like golfers. Like
Okay.
golf is so hard. Like I like
Yeah.
to think I like
Oh,
to think I can
absolutely.
We've
put like a
tried
lot
it
of
and we
force
can't
behind it.
do putt. So
I can't. No.
No.
I'm the same way. Like I'm the worst one at Top
Yeah.
Golf. Anytime I go to Top Golf,
Us
I
too.
like get frustrated. Like it's not a good
I
time.
Yeah.
wish I was good at golf.
I wish I was good at golf
It's
too.
good
yeah.
for business too.
Oh,
Yeah.
All the business people, they do golf,
Right.
but I can't even hit it.
Right. So I have an appreciation for golf. Tennis is also something that I feel like is
Joaquin.
like
Yeah. Walking.
pretty mentally straining,
Yeah.
and like you got to be like very quick, very fast twitch, like firing. Like obviously like you can rest between serves and stuff, but like
Yeah.
you gotta be on point. You gotta be ready. You gotta
I-
be built.
Joaquin tried to teach me tennis a couple months ago.
Yeah.
How'd I do, Joaquin?
Pretty mid.
He's giving me more credit than I deserve. I was
Yeah.
terrible. He said, I was terrible.
Another one that you definitely saw me like freak out and give kudos to was diving.
Yeah.
So Corbin had convinced me to send a triple backflip off of the diving board
Yes. Both
at
of
El
us.
Solito.
I was
Yes.
there.
Yes.
I was the one.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I think he first
Well,
told you.
He
I
first
think-
told me,
Yeah.
and I saw his video.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I saw you sending it.
Yeah. If,
And
and then you're like, if these kids can
If,
do
you,
it, I was like,
if they can throw it and survive, I
I
for
might as
sure
well.
can make 3 flips around.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I was up there, and I mean, you saw I was freaking shaking, dude. I
Dude.
thought I was gonna leave my own brown
For good
streak on the
reason.
board. Yeah.
Do you see what I did right before you?
What are you?
You died. You literally like flopped,
What are you guys so scared of?
dude. I'm
Doing
dying.
what I did.
Like, when you hit the pole.
Oh my God, I know.
I was horrified.
Dude, my back was so bruised.
Oh my god! And like that's what I didn't want. I didn't want to be bruised.
My
at all. Like,
second attempt, I opened up almost like my double gainer to my face, and I opened up right at the wrong time and just bah. And
yeah,
I was like, why would I ever do this?
like
But then
like
I got
cliff
up and did it
diving,
again.
like Red Bull cliff diving. Like that's some of the
insane.
craziest things
Oh
I've
my
ever
gosh,
seen.
That's
I don't
the-
even know how you can time like
so
that.
gnarly.
That I have like a lot of respect
or
for.
even like the Ryan Bean Reagan pop-off
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
where they,
yeah, Ryan Bean. Oh my God, he's not even real, dude. Like I look
don't
at
know
stuff,
how
I'm
he
like, how is
survived.
that? That's not possible.
I don't
No.
think
he's
it
just
is.
like 9 flips.
Yeah. I
Just,
don't
like,
get it.
tucking and praying.
but then
He
he
literally tucks and prays, and then he
he
hits the
doesn't
water,
die,
and he
is the
doesn't
thing.
die.
He doesn't die.
Everyone else, if their chin's not in enough, they die.
No,
And
he's
then
like
he-
a cat.
Yeah.
He's like a cat. Like you can drop him anyway, and he'll like land on his feet.
He has 900 lives. He's
Yeah.
like 100 times more than a cat. He's
And then like I guess another
That's real.
like even like like football. Like I do have respect for because I could not imagine getting hit that many times and like still wanting to like go out there and play.
Yeah.
Or like catching a football under pressure. Like I played football in middle school and I was the worst one.
Yeah,
I was the worst one on the team. I was
I
third
think I was
string tight
too.
end.
I think
Yeah,
I was too.
So was Corbin.
Yeah.
I was
They were
like
like-
ninth string on C team or something like that.
Yeah. No,
I got
it
to
was-
catch the ball maybe once.
They tried to throw the ball to me like once and I like completely fumbled, completely dropped. Yeah.
They try to avoid Corbin.
Yeah.
They're like,
They made. They're like,
Corbin,
oh, we
get
have
over so
4
we can throw that
receivers.
guy."
Okay, so we have 3 receivers.
So we really have 3. But yeah, like I have a lot of respect for football, basketball, shooting a 3-pointer, in a pressure situation.
Yeah.
Like I watched the Michael Jordan documentary series on Netflix. The name is leaving my brain right now. I can't remember it, but that was The Last Dance. Okay, so I watched The Last Dance and I was like, that sent me chills. I was like, I want to shoot some threes. And didn't make a single one. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so hard to be a professional.
Yeah.
Any sport.
In any sport.
It's crazy.
In any sport.
I mean, that's why they're called pros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pros for a reason.
They are pros for a reason, and that is time. And we are going to end it there. Thank you for watching the first episode of Salt and Pepper Podcast with Carlos Ojeda. Carlos, it was a pleasure having you on. One last thing before we go, we have a little gift.
We have a little gift for
Oh,
you.
no way.
We got
No
it printed.
way.
We're going to give you
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
this. This is awesome.
I'm gonna hang that up at home. That's perfect.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
so much. No,
Yes,
yeah, it
sir.
was a pleasure to be here. I had a blast doing this.
Look for Carlos in the future Olympics. He's going to be coaching or judging or maybe even be in the Olympics.
We'll
As
we'll find a way.
maybe
We'll
the
get there when we
Mexican
get there.
Olympics. I
He
don't know.
doesn't quit. He doesn't quit. He told us that in the podcast.
Yes, he doesn't quit. He'll find a way to do
I
it.
will find a
I
way
believe
to
him.
the Olympics one way or another. We'll see. Even if I have to be in
believe
the
it.
stands for this one, we'll figure it out.
Well,
I'll partake. But yeah, thank you
he's
so much for
definitely
having
gonna
me.
be there. So, all right.